Hi guys, welcome to my channel and this gentle yoga wheel sequence focusing on deeply stretch the hamstrings. You will need your yoga wheel, couple of blocks and the strap. Enjoy the class. Start making your way into a straight-legged seated position. Find the top of your sitting bones to sit on. Find a length through the spine on the inhale and gently bend your knees as we create a bit of a space between the knees and the floor. And as you exhale, start pressing the palms on the top of the wheel as we're taking the wheel away from us. We're going to stay here for a few breaths, so just close your eyes. As we inhale, we bring the wheel closer towards us, open up the chest. And on the exhale, we take the wheel further away. So just soften into your body. Start creating these gentle rolls. Warming up the spine. Waking up the back of your legs. From your calves to the back of your knees to the hamstrings. All the way down to the lower back. With these gentle, soothing movements. In and out. With your eyes closed. Just focusing on your breath. Start connecting your momentum to your breath. Inhale, we roll the wheel in towards us, finding more length through that spine. And on the exhale, perhaps we roll the wheel further away from us as we bring the forehead closer to the floor. Keeping your knees nice and soft. We're just warming up that body, warming up the hamstrings before we take it into the deeper stretches. Take a last 3 breaths. As you are, allowing your breath to be deep, to be long and continuous. One more like that. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Stay here, wherever your body is at the moment. Keep pressing the sitting bones to the floor. Spine is nice and long. We're pressing the palms on the top of your wheels and the back of the heel to the earth. Start bringing the wheel a little bit closer towards you, sitting up tall again, and just keep your left palm on the top of the wheel. Next time you inhale, we bring the right arm up, reach up nice and high to the sky and all the way back behind you. Open up the chest as you touch the floor behind you. Next time you inhale, bring the arm all the way back up. Keep that length in your spine as you place the right palm on the top of your left and we take the wheel further away from us. Start pressing the back of your knees to the floor, so we're gently waking up the quads as well. 2 more like that. Connecting the momentum to your breath. Bring it back through the center on the inhale. On the exhale, we take the wheel further away from us. Always finding more length, finding more space. Not just in the back of your legs, but in the lower back, in the spine. It's all connected. One more like that. Taking the arm all the way up. Right palm on the top of your left. Look down to the floor, tuck your chin towards your chest. Let's switch the arms. On the inhale, we're taking the left arm up. See if you can look at the fingertips as you bring the left arm all the way down, touching the floor. Just gently find the floor. Bring the left arm all the way up. Look up as we pressing the left palm on the top of your right. Keep it at length. 2 more like that. Maybe just closing in your eyes so you can really focus to what's going on in your legs, in your spine. Keep breathing. Last one here. Deep long inhale. Fingertips are reaching up. Your body's following that movement. Sitting up tall on the top of those sitting bones. And then we bring the left palm on the top of your right. We pause here for an extra breath. Lovely breath. Take the wheel back in towards you. Keep it as it is. Place the fingertips behind you as we're bringing the soles of your feet together into a little bit of a butterfly pose, butterfly sit. Open up the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together and gently press the knees, the upper thighs all the way down to the floor. Keep that length in your spine as you just start bringing the right back of the heel on the top of the wheel. Keep the spine nice and straight and just start flexing and pointing the right foot. Find a bit of a movement through the ankle, maybe a bit of a circle movement. Keep pressing the fingertips to the floor so the spine stays nice and long. Your heart is open. And then bring your foot into the stillness. Send your heel away from you. Again, engage in the quads. You're more than welcome to stay here today. If you start feeling the release around the back of your leg, this is where we stay. If you have more space in your hamstrings, start walking your hands closer towards you. Think about the length of your spine. Belly button goes in. Let's start walking. And again, we move it with the breath. Inhale to lengthen. As you exhale, we fold. We're going to hold here for a few breaths, but it's not a static hold. We keep moving inch by inch. Little micro adjustments with each exhale as we're finding just more space around the back of the right leg. If you can reach towards the wheel, maybe use the wheel to pull yourself closer, but take it nice and easy. No need to force your body into the limits. Perhaps taking the front of the wheel, maybe grab the ball of your foot. If you can't reach towards your foot, take your strap. And you can use the strap here as we strap the ball of your foot to emphasize the opening around the calf as well. Often we hold lots of tension around the calf, so this is a perfect way to stretch it. Pull the strap in towards you, expand the chest, and we start bringing the belly button closer to your thighs. So choose a variation that works for you today. And just breathe into the sensation. Soften into your body. Last 2 breaths as we are. Lovely work. Start slowly making your way out of the pose. Bring soles of your feet together again. Bring the fingertips behind you. Expand the chest just a little bit more. Send your chin all the way up to the sky. And we'll try the other leg. So bring your left back of the heel on the top of the wheel, sitting up tall. And again, maybe this is where we stay today. By lifting a heel higher up, we already getting a nice release through the back of the left leg. Engage your quads, send the toes up to the ceiling and in towards you to get the calf in as well, and flex and point their foot. Give the ankle a bit of a loving as well, a bit of a release. Stretching through the arch of your foot, the Achilles, all the way down to the calf. And then bring it into the stillness. Send the heel further away from you. And again, stay here, or we start walking your hands in. Pause wherever you need to pause. Maybe take the strap again if needed. Keep walking the fingertips closer and closer towards that wheel. Maybe take it holding onto the wheel. Close your eyes. Start bringing the belly button, the torso, closer and closer to your thighs with each exhale. Just notice, how is this side feeling for you today? How is the left leg doing? If you can reach towards the ball of the foot and bring the toes closer towards you to intensify the calf stretch. Once you find a sweet little spot, that's where you want to soften. Taking a 3 breaths. Final breath as we are. Inhaling. Exhale out. Lovely work. Start slowly making your way out of that pose. One more time into the little butterfly sit. So soles of your feet together. Expand that chest. And as you exhale, place the palms either on top of your feet or on that wheel as we just roll the wheel away from you. Just one extra breath here. Lovely work. Let's move on. From your seated position, bring the soles of your feet flat on the floor. Pick up the wheel. Take the wheel right in front of you. Pull the shoulders down and back as we start slowly making your other way down, all the way down, lying down in your back. Nice and slow, firing up through the core. We go one vertebra at a time, all the way down. Bring the back of your shoulders and the back of your head to the floor and the wheel over your head. So we're keeping the knees bent. Press the lower back down so there'll be no gap between the lower back and the floor. Take your right foot and place on the inside of that wheel. Now take hold onto the wheel and use the wheel to help you to guide the right thigh closer towards you until you start feeling that hamstring release. Flex the foot. Belly button stay pressing down to the floor. Belly button in. Lower back presses down to the floor. And only go as low as you like, allowing you to do so. Start feeling the release around the calf, the back of your knee, the hamstrings, as well as the lower back, the glutes. One last breath here. And then we lift the left foot off the floor as well, as the left foot reaches towards the inside of the wheel and right foot comes down. Bend your right knee. We bring the left thigh in towards you. And again, noticing this side. Staying here for 3 breaths. Flexing the foot on the inhale, we're sending the heel all the way up to the sky. And on the exhale, take the thigh closer towards you. Just be kind to your body. Be kind to yourself. We're looking for a gentle release. Last breath as we are. And then bring your right foot back up again onto the inside of the wheel. This time we keep both of your feet into the wheel. Pull the legs towards your back. Keep your tailbone, the lower back, heavy, heavy on the floor. Keep flexing through the feet. Just one breath here. And we're going to intensify the hamstring stretch. So all I want you to do, keep your right foot as it is. Keep your left leg straight as we start slowly lowering the left foot down. Keep both of your feet flexed. Lower your left foot all the way down to the floor as we actively press in the back of your left thigh to the floor and pulling the right thigh just a little bit closer towards you, finding a deeper release. So both of your thighs are active now. Both of your feet are flexed and we press in the left thigh bone down to the floor. See if you can keep the hips square, so right hip is going slightly back and away from you, pressing the hip down to the floor. So we're keeping a big gap between the right hip and the right armpit. We change the legs. So left foot comes back in, keeping the left leg nice and straight as we switch in the sides. Left foot presses onto the wheel and then right leg goes slowly down. Keep your right leg straight. Slowly, slowly lower all the way down until the back of your heel finds the floor. Think about kicking the right heel away from us, keeping the right leg long and pressing the right thigh bone to the floor as we bring in the left thigh closer and closer towards your chest. Back of your shoulders and back of your head heavy, heavy on the floor. Inhale in. Exhale out. Bend both of your knees. Both of the soles of your feet comes back down to the floor, keeping your knees bent as we start making your way all the way up into the seated position, same way as we went in. One vertebra at a time. Keep pressing the feet to the floor, coming all the way up into a seated position and place the wheel in front of you. Keep it there. Now we're going to bring both of your feet on the top of the wheel. So one foot at a time. Fingertips behind you. Expand the chest. And again, maybe this is where we stay. Beautiful stretch. Flexing the feet, expanding the chest. We stay here. This works for you today. Absolutely fine. If you have more space in the hamstrings already, start walking your hands forward. Find the top of your sitting bones to sit on. Flatten out the back. Send the pelvis forward. And on the exhale, we take it down. And again, nice and slow, no rush, no force, keeping the length in the spine. Again, you can take the strap, reach towards your feet or the wheel, wherever you are with it. Close your eyes. Think about this, just expansion. The chin pointed towards your toes. So try not to round through the spine. Last 2 breaths. On the inhale, we find in the length. On the exhale, finding a deeper release, inch by inch, breath by breath. release. Coming out of that pose, cross your ankles and start making your way into a tabletop, all fours. Keep the block as it is, right in front of you. Curling the toes under as we lift the hips up and back into a downward facing dog. Just a little gentle walk through the feet, pressing those heels down, hips up nice and high. Look at your feet. Bring your down dog into the stillness, just for one breath. Send your tailbone higher up. Perfect. We bring the left knee down to the floor and step your right foot forwards into our low lunge. Tuck your tailbone under, keep the toes of your back leg curled under, and bring the wheel in towards you. Bringing the fingertips on the top of the wheel, keep squeezing into the left glute as we open up the chest. And you should start to feel nice release through the front of your left thigh. Pull the shoulders down and back on the inhale. And on the exhale, we straighten the right leg as we start taking the wheel away from us. So you might want to wiggle the front foot forwards, pressing the back of your heel to the floor again, keeping the spine nice and straight. We're going to bring this into the gentle movements before we settle down. So on inhale, roll the wheel in towards you. Keep your left palm on the top of the wheel. As your right arm reaches up, we're bending into the right knee, sinking the hips nice and low. So we get in the front of your left thigh nice and long as well. And then straighten the right leg, press the right heel to the floor as we bring in the right palm on the top of your left, same as we did at the beginning of the class. Move with the breath, bend in the right knee, the right arm reaches up, open up the chest, look at the fingertips as we're reaching towards the space behind us. Bring it back through the center. We straighten the right leg as we're taking the wheel further away from us. Look down to the floor. See if you can bring the forehead closer. Hips goes back. Lovely work. One more like the nice big reach. Send the hips low. Your thighs are active. Hug your thighs in towards one another. And then we bring in the right arm up as we place the right palm on the top of your left. And we stay here for 3 breaths. Shoulders down and back. Neck stays long. And each exhale, we try to go deeper, rolling the wheel further away from us. Just the wheel is really helping you here. Trust it. Pressing the palms on the top of it. As we're going with the hips opposite direction, so the hips are going back as the fingertips are reaching forwards. Last breath as we are. And release. Start slowly making your way out of the pose. We bend the right knee. Take your wheel a little bit closer towards you. Keep the palms on the top of the wheel. Shift your weight onto your right foot. Lift the left knee off the floor. Rise up on the ball of that back foot. And then we're pressing the heel down. So a little bit of a variation of a pyramid pose. We are quite in the long stance here. So if this is too strong for you, hop the back foot tiny bit more forwards. We're keeping the left palm on the top of the wheel. Flatten out the back. Square over hips. As your right arm reaches up into a gentle twist. Keep your hips nice and square. Spine long. Pressing the left heel down to the floor. And as you exhale, right palm finds the wheel as well. Again, as we're rolling the wheel away from us. Nice big pyramid pose. Staying here for a few breaths. Squaring of the hips. Maybe softening to your right knee if needed. Falling deeper and deeper. Last breath as we are. Release. Perfect. We bend in the right knee. Place your left knee back onto the floor, and now we might need the blocks. So take your blocks, have them by your side as we place in the right foot on the top of your wheel. Have the blocks close to you as we start straightening the right leg, pressing the ankle, the back of your heel onto the wheel. Take your blocks with you. This can be quite a strong one, quite an intense stretch. So we're staying here for a few breaths. If you need a little blanket or a pillow underneath your left knee, bring it here and start rocking in and out of the pose. So looking for a gentle release through the hamstring as well as a bit of a massage around the calf. So it's like you're using the foam roller for your calf. Pulling the shoulders down and back. You might want to lower the blocks on the second high, the highest high. You might not need the blocks, but this can be quite a strong stretch. So take your time as you're going in and out of the pose. Pause wherever you need to pause wherever you feel the sensation. But the gentle rocking, just nice and soothing, nice and relaxing. Keep that going. Find a breath here. Toes are still pointing up. Lovely. We're keeping the right leg straight. Press the top of your back foot to the floor. Take one of your blocks with you as we're coming all the way down into the seated position, and place your block underneath the right sitting bone. So right sitting bone is on the block, left sitting bone on the top of your left heel. Maybe take the wheel a little bit closer towards you, and here comes a big one. So pull the shoulders down, and again, maybe this is where we stay. You probably are feeling this as we are already, which is amazing stretch for hamstrings. So flex the foot, stay here. You can take the strap. Again, we can strap the ball of the foot, reach towards your foot with the palm, bring the toes just a bit closer towards you. Getting a nice big stretch through the calf. I like to massage my calf here as well a little bit. That can give you a nice little bit of release. If we have more space in the hamstrings, let's take it all the way down. Walking hands forwards. Maybe resting the forehead on that top of the shin. Soften into your elbows and bring it into the nice restorative stretch. Holding here for 5 long breaths. Nice and heavy through the shoulders. And just breathe. Relax your facial muscles, relax your facial expression. Shoulders heavy, head heavy. Let the arms drop by your sides. Find a breath here. And release. Walk your hands out of the pose. Take hold onto the wheel and just bring the right foot away from it. Lovely work. Let's all meet back into the tabletop, all fours. Keep the blocks close to you so we can grab them later on. Downwards facing dog. Just one breath in your down dog. Little resets. Notice how is the right hamstring now compared to your left. Little cleansing breath here. Inhale through the nose as you're rising up on the balls of your feet. Exhale out through the mouth. Lovely work. Bring your right knee down to the floor. Step your left foot forward. Take your wheel. Maybe place a little blanket underneath the right knee now. Tuck your tailbone under, squeezing into the glutes, and we're finding that big hip flexor release through the right side. Place the fingertips on the top of your wheel. Open up the chest. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, let's go. Slide the left foot a tiny bit more forward as we're rolling the wheel away from us. Take it nice and easy with the first one. Just see how this side is feeling for you. Finding the balance. Finding a position that works for us. Let's bring this into those little movements and little twists. So we're bending the left knee. We're taking the wheel closer towards us as the right palm stays on the top of the wheel. Left arm reaches up as we expand that chest to the side, looking at those fingertips. We're bringing it back through the center, keeping the thighs nice and active. Left palm comes on the top of your right as we take the wheel away from us, sinking the chest nice and low. 2 more like that, moving with the breath. Reach the arm all the way up, perhaps sinking hips deeper, closer and closer towards the wheel. Bring it back through the center as we place the left palm on the top of your right and take it further away from you. Forehead is pointed down to the floor. 1 more like that. Inhale, left foot presses to the floor. The thighs are really strong as we open up the chest, look back. And we bring it back through the center, press the back of your left heel to the floor, and we stay here for 3 breaths. Now pay attention to your hips, make sure they stay square. Left leg nice and long, palms pressing on top of the wheel. Trust in the wheel. 2 breaths. Last breath as we are. And start bringing the wheel in towards you. We bend in the left knee, place the left foot to the floor, keep the hands on the top of the wheel. As we lift the right knee off the floor, maybe hop the right foot a little bit closer towards you. Square over hips, soften into your left knee, and we're keeping the right palm on the top of the wheel as your left arm reaches up. Finding a space, trying to stack the shoulders on the top of one another. And as you exhale, we take the left palm down on top of the wheel, roll the wheel away from you. Big 3 breaths in this massive, massive stretch. One of my favorites. I love a pyramid pose. So again, we square over the hips. So we're taking the left hip back, right hip forwards, pressing the back heel down to the floor as well as your left big toe. The hips stay square, your toes are pointing forward and your feet are like on a train tracks, not in front one another, but hip width apart. One more deep breath. Perfect. Bend your left knee, bring the wheel closer towards you, and gather your blocks. So here comes the big one. So placing the left foot on the top of the wheel. Lift it up, place the foot on top of the wheel, have your block close to you, start sending the wheel away from it. And I like to press the top of your foot to the floor now. So we square our hips again if they have moved. Flex the foot and start rocking and rolling forward and back, massaging that calf. And play around with the position of your blocks. Again, this side might feel completely different to what it was on the right side. So maybe staying here with the highest high, flatten out the back. Send your tailbone back and away from you as the crown of the head is reaching forward. Maybe see if you can bring the blocks on the second high. Lowest high, maybe you might not need the blocks at all. And just keep moving in and out of the pose. Those gentle rocking, soothing movements. Take a last breath here. Take one of blocks with you as we start making your way all the way back. Place the block underneath your left sitting bone as the right heel is underneath the right sitting bone. Make yourself comfortable. Flex the foot, open up the chest, start making our way down. If you use the strap and you strap the right foot on the right side, you can do the same here. Reach towards your foot or towards the wheel. We bring this into more restorative pose, so feel free to round the spine, soften into your elbows, close your eyes. As we come into the nice big hamstring stretch for last 5 breaths. Completely let go of your body and just breathe. Becoming heavier and heavier with each exhale. Giving the hamstrings the last few breaths, the last big stretch here. Inhaling. Exhale out. Lovely work. Start making your way out of the pose. Bend your left knee. Get rid of the block. And we're just going to finish in a child's pose. Bringing the palms on the top of the wheel. Take the wheel further away from you. Knees nice and wide. And start bringing the forehead nice and close to the floor. Just to closing the eyes, to closing the class off. With the last 3 breaths. Sitting all the way down onto your heels and your breath down to your lower back. Partially open up your lips. Deep long inhale through the nose. And take the last exhale out through the mouth. Let it all out. Start rolling the wheel in towards you. Roll up through the spine, one vertebra at the time, and into a kneeling position. Once you're up on the seat, also reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Look up. And bring your palms together and your heart center. Thanking yourself for your time, for your wonderful practice. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have got any questions or any suggestions, comment below. If you like the sequence, give me a thumb up, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you all very soon. Bye. Thank you.